The previous topic about banking was quite clear to all the students, and I think all of you have done the problems which are given in your book. In case not, please keep trying. There is plenty of time. Now you are at home. You have been given plenty of time to do self-study at home. Well, today I am back again after a week with a new topic of shares and dividend. Well, there are a lot of questions behind you or in your mind. What is shares, what is dividend, what is face value, what is market value, those things you might have heard earlier, but you don't have a clear picture about it. Well, today I am here to explain each and every terms and the related problems to shares, about shares and dividend. Examples I shall give you. With the help of those examples, I think if some problems of your exercise you may be able to do. Before that, once again, I request you to subscribe. Well, what is shares? What is dividend? Let us start with a very easy example. Suppose a person wants to start up a business or start up a company. The main thing which he requires is the capital or the money for starting up the business or the production of his products. He may be having the know-how, he may be having the technology, he may be having the expertise and many things, but the main thing which he does not have is sufficient amount of capital. So, but he has some money, and if part of the money he needs so that somebody can help, so that he can start up the business. Let us take it that the company requires, say, 1 lakh rupees. 1 lakh rupees a company requires. He has, say, 60,000 with him. I am just taking an example for your understanding. He has 60,000 rupees with him. So he needs more 40,000. He needs more 40,000 to start up the business. So he declares that if anybody in the public would like to contribute so that he can start up the business with 40,000 rupees more what he needs. So you may be thinking that why people will invest in his company. So he adds up that if you pay some amount of money to start up his business, then when the company starts its production and when it starts gaining, then he may give a part of his profit, or he may distribute a part of his profit to the persons who have invested in the company. Now what he does, now there may be persons who may be interested to pay the full amount of 40,000. So, and some may be having very less amount. So there may be a say type of ambiguity that what to invest, what not to invest, how much and what extra, many more questions there may be. So the company tries to divide it into small parts. Say 10 rupees you can invest. A minimum you have to invest 10 rupees, or minimum you have to invest say 5 rupees, whatever it is. Suppose you have to invest 10 rupees each. Then 10 into 4,000 is 40,000. That means we have 4,000 persons who can invest with 10 rupees each. So this small parts which a company declares, that is known as the shares. Now there may be persons who have plenty of money and they may be interested in investing more amount of money. So the company says that in order to get a 10 rupee share or one share of 10 rupee, you have to pay 500 rupees. Means the actual value of one share is 10 rupee, but you have to pay 5 rupees to get the share. In that case, you will find some persons moving away, not interested in paying. In that case, the persons who were more interested decreases. Anyway, we are not going to go so much details about all those things. Now let us understand the terms. First one, we have understood what is shares. Shares are those small parts which the company declares in order to participate in the business. Now, I said that 10 rupee shares, to get a 10 rupee share, you have to pay 500 rupees. 10 rupee share, you have to pay 500 rupees. This 10 rupees is known as the face value or the nominal value. Means the original value. For example, this pen which I am having. This pen may be cost 20 rupees. But if this pen is of a very renowned person, then to get a 20 rupees pen, the original cost of this pen 20 rupees, there may be persons who are ready to pay 20 lakhs. Because the pen was used by a very, say, important person or very renowned person. It will be a pride for you to keep such a pen. So that means the face value of this original share is 10 rupees, and to get that share you are paying 500 rupees. This is known as the market value or MV. This is written as MV. This is known as face value, FV. Okay. Now, once it is decided what is face value, what is market value, the company will say that I will pay 5% dividend or I will pay 10% dividend. What does it mean? Means if the company starts production and starts gaining profit, then the company will pay 5% on each share. On the face value, 5% of the face value. That means 5% of 10. That means rupees half. Means 50 paisa per share. 5% of rupees 10. Suppose a person had invested 200 rupees. So 200 rupees if he has invested, and for every share the face value is 10 rupees, then he will get 200 into per share he is getting how much? Half rupee. That means he will get rupees 100 as the part of the profit, and that is known as the dividend he gets. So, dividend is always calculated on the face value. So, what we understand, number of shares a person has into the dividend on every share. Number of shares, if the number of shares is N and dividend per share is R percent, and F is the face value, then this is the annual dividend. Means we always calculate the dividend on the at the end of every year. So this is known as the annual dividend. Okay. So we have understood one of the formula, that is annual dividend. Now what is the, or it is also known as the annual income. Now what is the investment? How do we know what is the investment? Suppose I am ready to buy 50 shares and every share is in the market, it costs 500. In the market cost means the company has risen the price of the share so that the demand increases. Since the demand is more, the price is more. So 50 into 500 per share, market value is 500, and he is ready to buy 50 shares. So investment is equal to market value into number of shares. We can get one more formula from here, that is number of shares is equal to investment by market value. So two formulas are ready with us. One is the annual income, that is N into rate of dividend into the face value, and another formula is investment, that is market value into number of shares. So with these two formulas, let us see few examples that will be easy for you to understand the concept better. ₹12.50. Market value and face value difference I have already told. Face value is the original value of the share, and market value is the amount he has to pay to get that share. Now R is what? R is the rate of dividend, how much he will earn on every share. How much rate means percentage of earning on each share. Now we are supposed to calculate the investment, how much he has to invest to get 200 shares. So investment is market value into number of shares. Market value is ₹12.50 into number of shares is 200. So this is ₹2,500. So he is supposed to pay 2,500 to get shares whose face value is 10 rupees and market value ₹12.55. Now the annual income. Annual income will be number of shares into rate per share, rate of dividend into the face value. That is, number of shares is 200, rate is 8%, and face value is 10 rupees. So we get ₹160. What is the number of shares and what should be the investment to get such an income? And one more is that what is the percentage return? About that term I shall just now tell you. Well, first of all, how to find out the number of shares? We are given income. We know income is equal to N into R into F by 100. Number of shares into rate of dividend into face value. So that is N into 12 into F is 25 by 100, that is 720. 720 is equal to N by 3N, or N is 240. So he is supposed to buy 240 shares to get 720 the income. Now what should be his investment? Investment is equal to number of shares into market value, that is number of shares is 240 into market value per share is ₹36. So after multiplication we get ₹8,640. 8,640 rupees is the investment. And one more thing we have to find is percentage of return. Now what is this? Now usually students make a confusion between rate of dividend and percentage return. Percentage return is whatever I have invested and whatever is the income on the investment, its comparison with respect to the percentage. That is the income which I have got on the investment into 100. That is the percentage return. Income on the investment. If I have invested more, my income will also increase. How much it will increase? Its comparison is done with the help of the percentage, that is percentage of return. Percentage return, that is income by investment into 100, that is 720 by investment is 8,640 into 100, that comes to 8.3% or 1/3%. This is what? Let us understand the terms or the things which are given in the question. Investment is 8,800 or 8,800 and face value per share is rupees 100. Premium, this is a new term which we come across. What is premium? Premium of 10%. Here market value is not given. Means the shares are sold at a premium, means higher. Whenever the word premium means the market value is 10% more than the face value. We may come across another word or another term in our other questions, that is discount. When it is written discount, it is below the market value. If the company is not going through good sales or good production, or there may be crisis in the market, then the company tries to sell the shares at a lower price than the face value. That time it sells the shares at discount. Here it is premium. Premium means higher than the face value, that is 10% more than the face value. So the market value is here 10% of face value plus face value. That means 110 rupees. 10% of 100 rupees is 10 rupees plus 100 rupees. So 110 rupees is the market value of one share. What we are supposed to calculate? We are supposed to calculate the number of shares he has in the company. So number of shares, we know income is given 1200. So income is N into R into F by 100. So income is 1200 is equal to face value. N is not given, R is also not given, face value is 100 by 100. So N we can calculate by investment by market value. So we can calculate N here by investment by market value, that is 8,800 by market value is 110. So 80 is the number of shares. So 80 into R into 100 by 100, 1200. So R is 120 by 8, that is 15%. So the rate of dividend per share is 15%. I think you have understood the new term premium. Well, in our last question for this video, I think after this most of your doubts or clarifications will be clear about this chapter. Well, in this question the rate of dividend is given 15%, face value is 10 rupees and tax deducted. Here new term is the tax. is 22%, number of shares is 1000. What we are supposed to calculate is find the annual income of a man who owns 1000 shares of this company. He has 1000 shares. So annual income or annual income is same thing. 1000 is the number of shares, rate of dividend is 15 and face value is 10 by 100. Rupees 1500. But this income he will not get. Why? Because he has to pay 22% tax to the government. This tax will be collected by the government because he is earning some profit. It is the duty of a citizen to pay some tax. So how much tax he pays? Tax paid is 22% of 1500. So that is 15, 22, 330. That means rupees 330 he pays as tax. So income after tax deduction is equal to rupees 1500 minus 330, that is 07 1170 rupees 1170. Well, this was the income he is paying after paying tax of 22% to the government. With this few questions, I think much of the questions of the exercise you will be able to solve. If not, surely I am there with you to help you more in my upcoming videos. Please be with me whenever you like. You please comment in the comment box. I shall reply you at once. If not at once, maybe it may take some time. But do not waste your time sitting idle at home. Utilize your time. This is the time to study. At most, relax, study, eat, enjoy, but stay at home and be safe. Thank you. See you again.